Welcome to the Business Boys Talkin-Business Virtual Power Lunch. Please welcome your hosts, Tyler Price and Brian Magleby.
Yeah, baby!
Hey, here we are. Another week has gone by.
Talking business.
Yeah.
We are here. And a beautiful building in the background.
That is a nice building.
Yeah, we've got the general manager of Curtiss-Wright that we're going to be interviewing today. So that's a beautiful, bright background that we fit right in with. So.
Well, I'm Tyler Price with the Small Business Development Center.
And I'm Brian Magleby with the Idaho Innovation Center. And welcome to Talkin' Business. Whether you're watching live or after, we appreciate you tuning in, and we appreciate the sponsors that we have. Let's talk about those.
BBSI, those are, again, great guys and gals over there just doing cool stuff with HR, business training, sales trainings. I mean, they do a lot of stuff there. If you have any sort of need, and in helping find employees, they run the gamut.
Yeah,
so
everything with your business. And we talk about the Small Business Development Center. We couldn't be doing the show without them. Absolutely one of the hidden gems here. If your business needs to take it to the next level, if you're looking and how you can get your business to the next level, highly encourage you to go to idahosbdc.org and request an appointment. And we will help you take your business to the next level. IdahoSBDC.org, and of course the Idaho Innovation Center. Appreciate their sponsorship as well. And
well, Volpine Marketing and Andex, both those companies, Ryan Joe said Volpine doing great things with, if you have marketing needs or website needs or anything, he can definitely help you out.
SEO, website, logo design, anything. He's just an all-around marketing guru. Great. Encourage you to look him up. And Andex, they roll out the red carpet here every week for us here.
If you have need of a studio, if you have an event going, these are the people to turn to. So.
Absolutely great. Appreciate Andy Johnson and his staff here do a great job. So let's talk about last week's show. It's kind of a surprising, Michaela.
They do cool stuff. Michaela with the development workshop.
Yep. They're a staple of the community and have been for 50 years. They did. We learned some great things last week from Michaela. If you haven't watched that show, I encourage you to do so. Great things happening at Development Workshop, and let's just kind of tease about next week.
Well, Echo Marshall. I mean, I'm excited.
She's known just by her name, Echo.
Yeah.
So she is kind of the front face of marketing for the Shoshone-Bannock tribe down in Fort Hall. Absolutely. She's a great public speaker. She's spoken at many events, and she is quite the leader down there. We're going to learn what she's doing next week.
Super smart, super sharp, and I like Echo a lot. So.
And maybe she'll do some Zumba with us.
Yeah,
we will wait
pass.
for her.
I will pass.
If you're watching, Echo, I'm requesting some Zumba next week. She's a Zumba instructor.
Yes, she is.
Let's.
That's real workout. That's a real workout.
After our taste segment last week, we're going to be doing maybe some Zumba next week. So we'll see what Echo brings for us. So we're excited to have THERESA Sutter on the show today. She is with the general manager of Curtiss-Wright, a company that used to be on Woodruff Avenue, and I couldn't believe the building that they used to be in.
Yeah, we won't ask her questions about that, but
she comes to the new awesome building that they built down in Snake River Landing. That's going to be in our background, and absolutely a moving and shaking company. And so we're going to watch a quick video here that'll introduce you to Curtiss-Wright, and then we'll have THERESA on set.
Innovation moves the world forward. Curtiss-Wright started as a company of innovators, building on the legacy of one of the most revolutionary events in history, the first flight. And that was just the beginning. Throughout the generations, our focus on driving innovation, acquiring key capabilities, and fostering a united workforce has moved us forward as an engineering powerhouse at the forefront of our markets. Today, Curtiss-Wright has facilities around the world and is a leader in unique solutions, offering capabilities in critical, highly engineered technologies for the aerospace, defense, industrial, and power industries. As a company that creates products for critical operations, there's no margin for failure. That's why our world-class engineers create solutions to handle the most rigorous applications and intense environments. From surviving rapid and harsh temperature changes to enduring the most extreme pressures undersea and in the vacuum of space, our customers trust us to deliver the right performance, the right quality, and the right capabilities to ensure the product works the first time, every time. That commitment to quality reduces risk for our customers, whether that's staying on top of budgets to limit financial risk or enabling them to get their jobs done and ensure success. We're here to be a trusted partner solving hard problems with great technology and great customer service. But we wouldn't be where we are today without our employees. Not only do they bring extraordinary talent and exceptional expertise, but they also harness their diverse power under the shared vision of one Curtiss-Wright. Throughout the last 90 years, this cultural shift to driving performance, adopting an attitude of winning, and leveraging a unified approach to our markets and key customers is what has allowed us to persevere and become an even stronger company. We'll never forget the experiences and events that shaped where we are today. We've come a long way since the first flight inspired our values as a company of innovators, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. As we continue to build on our market capabilities through a heavy focus on R&D, our number one goal is to bring emerging state-of-the-art technology to our customers and meet the future head-on. With the right culture, the right values, and the right team in place, we'll build on our past to create a better tomorrow for our company, our customers, and the world.
Well, that's cool stuff, kind of technical.
Very
Wow.
busy.
Yeah.
And
So
some
you're-
of that happens, not all of it happens here in Idaho Falls, but wow, that's a lot of stuff to do as a company. So welcome, THERESA Sutter. I've known as Suiters here in the area, but it is Sutter.
Yes.
Yeah, very good.
From where she comes from, they say it's Sutter, and we will honor that. So THERESA Sutter, welcome to Talkin-Business. So we watched that video. Kind of give us an overview of what all Curtiss-Wright does here in Eastern Idaho.
Yeah, in Eastern Idaho, we have a limited scope that we do here. We do three things here. We do instrumentation and control, which is both analog and digital. We do plant monitoring and control, which is really exciting stuff. It really is software-based, and we focus on optimizing the plant performance. And then last, we have a piece of data and information solutions. So over the years, we've collected lots of data, and in this big data world, we now analyze that data and help our customers make decisions on that data.
Wow, and I mean, I had no idea that all this kind of things were happening here at Curtiss-Wright. So talk to us about the company as a whole. How many employees do you have locally and total? I guess you're a publicly traded company. That was one thing I learned. So
yeah, so we are a publicly traded company. Honestly, globally, I don't know how many employees we have. It's in the thousands. I just don't remember the number. Locally, we have 170 employees, and we've been here for over 40 years in varying forms. We were acquired by Curtiss-Wright in 2007. And it was as part of that acquisition that we grew. We exploded for sure, and we just became different from where we were. But the heart of our organization is really innovative solutions to provide to our power clients across the globe, but primarily domestic commercial nuclear plants.
Right. So that being said, then your client is someone that is in the power industry. And how do you attract that client? It seems like a pretty technical industry to be in.
So it's all relationship building,
Yeah.
right? So we have been in this industry from the start. So the commercial nuclear industry is really very small when you think about it. So it's all about relationship building and building those relationships over the years as people have retired and moved in and out of the industry, and really kind of innovated with them. So we have sales managers that go to every site in the country. We have people on the phone with customers on a regular basis just talking about their problems so that we can bring them solutions.
Yeah. And Idaho has a history
Deep history.
Deep history. I don't know that everyone knows, but Atomic City or ARCO,
Yep.
right? That was the first nuclear powered, and it doesn't glow or anything, because nuclear kind of gets a bad rap,
It
right?
does.
So what would you say to somebody that says, oh, that's terrible, because you look at Fukushima and things like that, or Chernobyl. I mean, that's where people go, right?
Yeah.
So what's your take on nuclear, and why should we be in it?
Yeah, so most people do go to the bad, if you will. However, right now, with the carbon-free focus, that's really where you need to go with nuclear. So it's a carbon-free energy source, and it's a source that maintains our baseload generation across the U.S. right now, and that's key, right? Especially as we deal with the rising temperatures and climate change, for sure.
Yeah. So talk to us about some of the clients that the Curtiss-Wright takes care of. Department of Defense, Department of Energy.
Yeah, so Curtiss-Wright Corporation as a whole does serve the Department of Defense, a lot of our military spaces. Locally here, we primarily serve the commercial nuclear industry as well as the Department of Energy, right? So we have a number of those government projects as well. But on a day-to-day basis, it's primarily working with these utilities to keep their plants optimally running, whether it's providing parts, software, or information.
Yeah. And where do you see the energy going? Because it's solar's getting better and better. I don't know that wind can say the same thing, but maybe I don't know. Nuclear is still solid. So where do you see it going? Because we still have dams that's impactful, right? A dam is, and we use it here, right here on the Snake River. They're generating energy that then gets sold to California.
Yeah. I knew you would slide something.
Anyway, but where would you like to see it, and where do you see it going overall?
Yeah, so currently from a nuclear side, 20% of our baseload capacity is provided by nuclear, and that across the globe is much higher. And that's what we want to see here in the U.S. is higher growth of nuclear power as capacity, because it's an efficient and carbon-free source.
Yeah.
And again, it's efficient. It can provide energy at scale, which I think is a bit of a differentiator for it from wind and solar.
Yeah, because they have the wind has to be blowing and the sun has to be out, right? And
I've noticed the wind turbines don't turn all the time up on the mountain here.
Yeah, very good. THERESA, we have a kind of a common friend, a buddy of mine that I used to be doubles partner with in racquetball, Scott Roebuck, that used to be the boss around here, and you're familiar with him too. Kind of talk about what your responsibilities. He used to be one of the leaders here. Kind of helped to take Curtiss-Wright through all the mergings and all that kind of stuff. I know, and he's retired, or taken an early retirement, and you've kind of stepped in and taken some of the roles. What are your roles specifically at Curtiss-Wright here in Idaho Falls?
Yeah, so it depends on what day of the week it is. So as a general manager, I oversee all three of our, well, it's really four of our businesses on a day-to-day basis. In addition, I run our sales organization. So I'm really kind of in the mix to just keep the operations running smoothly, eliminate any problems that they may have, focus on what our customer needs are strategically to kind of plan where we're going in the next year to 5 years, and then work from that, just kind of keeping the pulse on the customer and the market base so that we can continue to grow this business going forward.
Yeah. So, and sales is always the lifeblood of every company, right? And again, technical sales, so what is that?
Technical sales is way different.
Yeah,
right?
because it takes us someone that has to be taught up, number one, and then that process is a long process. So you come in and there's expectations on increasing sales. Well, the sales that happen because of efforts months or years, and so so what does that look like for what are your challenges in dealing with that?
Yeah, so I think some of our biggest challenges in technical sales are the experiences, right? So ultimately, when we go into a customer, we're talking technical level. So you don't have a lot of first chances with a customer. So you have to put your best foot forward. So I'm a nuclear engineer by degree, and so many of our sales organization team members have that technical background. They can walk in and hold court with the best of them, because again, you only get one shot at it. And so that relationship building is key for our sales organization. It is something that we have to focus on every day, making sure that our technical team is up on what's going down in the market, and then what's going up in the market. It's just a changing dynamic, and sometimes that's hard, right? Technical people are not necessarily the best salespeople. They don't necessarily know a sales cycle.
Very rarely are they. I've worked with some of them, and you can't understand 9 out of 10 of their words. So you're right.
It's a balance. It's a balance. Some of them are really good at it. Some of it just need a little coaching in order to make it happen. Some of them have to we have to get help from each other, right, to make it so that we cover the weaknesses and the strengths of each one. But for the most part, that's what the customer loves about us, being able to talk about their problem and then us coming back to them with a technical solution versus having to go through 5 or 6 different layers in order to make something happen.
And how does a company even become a nuclear, like speaking specifically to nuclear, it's like, hey, you know, I think nuclear is going to be great. Me and Brian are going to go open a power plant. So how does that?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of startups that are trying to come into the nuclear industry. We're very conservative in the nuclear industry and haven't necessarily adopted new technologies. So all these startups are coming in and they're like, nuclear would be the best for us, but they don't have the experience or the language to be able to talk to the industry. And so that's kind of where a company like Curtiss-Wright comes in. We're able to talk the talk and make those connections. So you almost have to find a friend who has that experience to bring us in. And luckily we were there from the beginning. So again, my company was acquired by Curtiss-Wright through acquisition, but we were here in Idaho Falls and have been in Idaho Falls for 40 plus years. And we have been in the industry from day one. So its longevity has helped us. We speak the language, and that's what new players into the world have to come into. They can't just walk in and be a little too cocky and say, we know how to do this problem or solve this problem.
And if you haven't seen this beautiful building, to see, you know, what they came from. I mean, if you know where Planet Fitness was down on Woodruff, and it was just, it was a location. But when I went there many times to visit Scott, I mean, they were bursting at the seams there, and it was
a maze to walk through, like walking down aisles.
Literally a maze of cubicles. So it was extremely. And man, if you haven't been out or seen this building out in the Snake River Landing, wow, you walk up to it and that's all you'll say is wow. It's they have done it right. They've got a beautiful building, and it still has some room for some expansion. Is that right?
Definitely. So we have 112,000 square feet. We have a manufacturing floor. We actually have another production floor where we do and build all of our plant process computers and other technical computer systems. And we hope to expand, particularly our production floor for INC. So we just did a cleanup, if you will, and consolidation of that so that we can make more room for some manufacturing to come in. So lots of room there. And it's actually a very beautiful facility.
It is, it's beautiful, and you'll just be wowed the whole time you're there. I went out there and visited the area, and that's where I met THERESA. An absolutely impressive building, I'll tell you. That it is a great thing for Eastern Idaho here. One of the questions that we like to ask our guests is, how has COVID affected Curtiss-Wright?
Yeah, so I think positively, like kind of maybe focus on the positive for COVID. I think that COVID has caused an acceleration in our thinking and our decision making. I think is the best positive out of this. Last March, when we were faced with what's going down, we really weren't thinking about hybrid work. We weren't thinking about virtual work. We weren't thinking about how to do some of the tasks that we do in our offices remotely. And it caused us to really, button up our boots and run out and do it right then and there. So I think from a positive point of view, that's really what COVID has done for us. It's accelerated what was needing to happen anyway and might have been 2 to 3 years down the road without COVID.
No, and that ability was always there. We just had the hand was forced, right?
Yeah, we slow roasted it, right?
No, and
made it much more of an issue than it really was.
And I think it even you know, if you look in big cities, so if you hire someone new out of school, it's hard for that person to be new and buy a home in a big city. But they can come to rural parts and work remotely. Well, now it gives opportunity, right? So it'll be interesting to see how this whole thing shakes out. I have a question though about, okay, Bill Gates has a group of hey, we're going to save the world, right? Which I appreciate that. Whether some people, you know, look at Bill Gates as a little bit like, anyway, I'm digressing.
Not going
from my
there.
point. Yeah. But their movement is in nuclear and taking low-level waste and running these power plants. And I don't know that you can speak to whether they're a client or not, but what is your opinion on that? Is it something that can really happen? I know even they have some people out at the site here locally that are out there doing stuff, whatever stuff means. But is that something that we could see happening in the United States soon?
Yes, so we're very hopeful of that. The reason we like small modular and advanced reactors, and the reason we like companies like TerraPower, the Bill Gates company, is that quite honestly, they're disrupting the industry. They are bringing a new conversation to the industry. So instead of talking about nuclear power in kind of like old fogey terms, right, they have reclassified the concept of nuclear power as a green energy, as a green economy. And they have, similar to COVID, kind of accelerated the approach to nuclear. So they don't come in with any preconceived notions. They haven't been in the industry for 40 years. They haven't been there, done that, and they're challenging the norm. And I think that is refreshing in an industry, again, that's very conservative, but it's also very refreshing in that old ideas are coming back to the forefront. So many of the technologies that they're proposing have been in research realms for years. And it is bringing essentially a new renaissance to the industry. No more of these really big power plants. Let's focus on these small power plants and bring them to the areas that have the need. So it's exciting, it's refreshing.
And so what does that take? So like Idaho tends to be a little more, we're conservative, but at the same time we're kind of like, yeah, do your thing. We try not to regulate.
Yeah.
So would a plant like that fit in a state with that mentality, or is it across the board, any state really could do it? Because it's focusing on green, it's focusing on being lean and mean and producing energy, right?
Yeah, so I think that this type of power and this type of plant is appealing to anyone. It's appealing to this next generation of consumers, if you will, right? The people who want their energy to come from a completely green source. And that is really what they're selling to, and that's what's disrupting, right? These other utilities who are amazing because they have served our domestic need for years. They have a mix, right? They've had to kind of keep their baskets full in many places. This is really kind of tailoring to that green consumer.
Wow. That's great. You mentioned in when we ask you some questions that the new CEO of your company has a focus on pivot to growth.
Yes.
Kind of talk about that and how it relates to what you're doing in this area.
Yeah, so my VP GM, we just came out of our strategic planning session, and he put it best. In essentially the evolution of our CEOs, each has had their own focus. So we talked about how my company was acquired by Curtiss-Wright in 2007, and that was the focus of that CEO, was to build up this company. Our next CEO focused on really integration and optimization of performance. So we really focused on processes and improving those processes so we could return the maximum value to our shareholders. Our new CEO, who just took the realm in January, is really focusing on growth, right? She and our shareholders are demanding that we up our game on the top line revenue and grow to be able to serve all of these industries and markets. And I think that's kind of key for us. It's a bit of a step change, but it's what's needed to kind of take us into the future.
And that speaks again back to putting these or helping support these companies too, right? So those companies come online and you're there to support. Well, that accomplishes a lot of great things. It's green energy, it's all these things, but it's also increasing the bottom line as well.
Yeah, and I think that, again, as a company that was formed originally through acquisition, then transitioned to optimization, growth is the next natural step, just because we haven't necessarily collaborated, and I think you saw in the video, there's a lot of conversation around one Curtiss-Wright, and we need to leverage our peers across the enterprise so that we can grow. There's a lot of amazing ideas that are sitting over in this business unit that need to kind of cross-mix with the other, and that's what it's all about.
That's a challenge in and of itself, because
yes.
people get territorial and yada yada, but you know all that. Yeah. So you said, okay, here I am, me and my husband and kids living in Florida. I'm moving to Idaho.
Yep.
Yeah, and so you're here long term. You like it enough, or what's your vision and plan for you?
Yeah, right. It's been really fun. Originally, when I was approached with the opportunity, it was like Idaho, Florida, and Idaho. There's a few of the same letters.
Yeah. We got some of the vowels are the same.
Yeah. And then the more my husband and I started talking about it, the more opportunity it presented. Our kids are in college, so it was easy for us to say, you know what, we're going to pack up and head up to Idaho. And so we've looked at it as, again, an opportunity and adventure. The flag we have in the backyard says, you know, keep exploring. And that's really what this has been all about. It's learning about this culture. It's a different culture here. It's a different mindset, and then just exploring. Obviously, the outdoors here is just amazing. We don't have mountains in Florida.
No. You will get to like it. So.
We've learned from zero elevation up to 4,700 feet that there's a little less oxygen here.
Yeah, less air.
So it's been fun, and we've just really had a good time so far. And I think from an opportunity perspective, we're going to make the most of what we can do here. Yeah.
So, and we kind of talked earlier, but me and my wife like to go outside of Tampa on the Gulf side of things, and we go a couple times a year. But I view Florida as a lot like Idaho in terms of the mentality of the people there. It's just you guys better weather, beaches, and you got to watch out for gators occasionally.
Yes.
Right?
Occasionally.
So, but you do have to watch out for buffalo and bears.
Yeah,
here,
there's a lot different things you have to watch out for here, and the weather is certainly different. But the dryness is actually refreshing.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, it's great to learn that your CEO is taking the word of the kind of the last year and a half pivot to growth, and that's exciting to have a company of your size and nature here in Eastern Idaho, employing 170 people. And hopefully there will be some expansion on that, and you do that. But it is absolutely great to have a company like Curtiss-Wright here in this area. Tell us, is there anything else about Curtiss-Wright that our listeners should know about?
I think the biggest thing, and as I've been in the area, is it's like we're here. Again, I have recently talked to a number of people, even out at the lab. They just don't know we're here. Yeah. We've kind of been a hidden gem, right? Yeah. Just like the rest of the gem state in its entirety. And that's key. We are here. We employ 170 people. They're part of your community. And we are excited to be part of the community. And hopefully you're seeing more of that now that I'm here, so that we get out there.
Yeah. Very good. And tomorrow she's going to be hosting Tom Keeley, one of our big name speakers that we've had on Talkin-Business. She'll be, I guess, the Department of Commerce is going to be exploring Curtiss-Wright. Is that right?
Yeah, we're bringing in Idaho Commerce along with several of the small local businesses, really just to get to know each other. Yeah. Because teaming together and collaborating is really the key to success. And Idaho Commerce is really focused on bringing all they can to Idaho, and we're happy to be part of that and excited to be part of that.
They'll be in town because Thursdays, I think Rexburg's the capital for the day or something like that. The governor will be here, and that's I think they're just making a stop here before. So that's great. We wish you the best in meeting with Tom Keeley, and please tell Scott Roebuck hello. Yes. He's a great friend and a great he's inspired me my whole life, not only in the racquetball court, but also with his business acumen and his knowledge of the business and how he has taken the company as big as it is. So good luck with that. And talk to us about this quote that you have.
Yeah, it's funny because it's a quote that you wouldn't expect an engineer to like. Right? So it's above all, watch with glittering eyes the whole world around you, because the greatest secrets are always hidden in the most unlikely places. And those who don't believe in magic will never find it. And again, I'm an engineer, and it seems like a really weird fit. Really, but it's the concept of innovation, right? You have to be continually watchful, and we talked about how our approach to the customer is. You have to be mindful and a good listener and a good observer in order to be able to pick out the pieces that are going to serve you well in the future. And so I think it speaks to kind of the creative side of people, but also, in my perspective, helps motivate those who are looking to the technical side as well.
Yeah.
Very good. If you didn't catch there in one of the lines she said, you have to focus on innovation. Yeah. And so that's a great transition
there we go.
into our training segment. Thank you, THERESA SUTTER, for being on Talkin-Business. And we're going to invite her to stay here as we transition into our final topic of the day let's do a little adjustment here. And we're going to talk about 10 proven habits of highly innovative people. And we the thing we wanted to just talk about is you have, like THERESA said, you have to focus on innovation in your company. Yeah. If you're going always, a business is always going in one direction, either up or down. Very rarely will they be like this.
Nothing stays constant.
So,
so figure out how to enjoy the roller coaster. So when it's coming crashing down, just put because it's coming back up, right? Yeah. So, but the first one is pursue your passions every day. There's a great book, Good to Great. I can't say I love the book, but I love aspects of it. But one of the things is be passionate about what you do. Just in talking, this is the first time we've met. You got a little bit of passion for your stuff, just so you know. Yeah. And because of that, you will do great things here. And I think I've been around Brian. He has passion. Sometimes my passion comes out in anger a little bit. I just call it passion. My wife says, "You need to calm down." I said, "No, I'm passionate about this." Yes. And so anyway.
And when I mentioned that the governor's coming to town, his
blood
pressure
I light up because
it's
like, all right, let's go ask him some more questions. He doesn't like to be asked. So
all right, number 2 here. Keep a book of ideas, and I brought a couple. But these are always great. This book is always on the side of my seat. So when I have an idea, and I also have one by my bed, that when I get an idea that I keep it in this book of ideas. And there's different ones that you can get, but I encourage you to always have a book of ideas and keep that there so you can write things down when you think of them.
That's so much better than mine, which is, I'll remember that, and then I don't.
10 minutes later, you're like, what was that?
We're going to put THERESA on the spot and make her take number 3.
Yeah, well, I'll actually talk about number 2 for a second.
Oh, yeah.
But we actually opened an innovation portal last year to kind of document the ideas, because what was happening was we would sit around in meetings and we would have all these great ideas, and then they'd walk away and nothing would ever happen. Yeah. So now our real focus is to archive those ideas into our portal so that we can go and work on those ideas as well. Yeah. But
very good.
Expand your mind through experiences. Yeah, and again,
just what you're doing in Idaho.
Yeah, we haven't talked, and this kind of probably sums me up a lot, right? Experience is key, right? You can't expand if you don't have something to build on. And what people tell me here is that I've probably been more places in Idaho than them who have lived here all of their lives.
That's great.
And I think
you are experiencing.
That's a lot of things. It's experience, and that brings a lot of context to things you do in your everyday life as well as your work life.
Yeah.
So.
Very good.
You want me to take that one? Yep. Everything, be curious. I love the question everything, yes. But be curious. I love being with my grandkids. They're just like, they get into stuff, and it's fun. But my wife is always asking why, and all through her scholastic and trainings and things.
Be a 2-year-old.
Yeah, and people don't always like the why people, but I do. I married one, so it's like, anyway. And sometimes she has to ask, why did I marry this guy?
Yeah. So, free yourself of constraints, and this is a good thing. If you're an innovative company, and this is some things that you have to do, is free yourself of some constraints, and it kind of leads into one of the lower ones there to thinking outside of the box. But you've got to get rid of what are some things that are holding you back in your limiting thoughts. So
just before I came here, our IT organization, we're working through some things, and we've instituted the don't ask why we can't do something. Tell us how we can do something, and that's kind of key in number 5.
Yeah.
Very good. Nurture your creative process. Relentlessly research. In a company like yours, that's you got to stay on top of things. So and then the number 8 there. Look to think out of the box. This is kind of the biggest thing that I think that that is important for businesses to do is to really think out of the box, like Theresa said, when you get your people together and there's ideas that come up, but really get them to think out of the box of what could we do different and be, innovative there.
Yeah, and collaborate with colleagues. I don't know that I can call them colleagues, but whenever I'm researching something or find something interesting, like I have this ag bug in me that I like agriculture.
Right.
So I'm always talking to the ag guys and
Right.
asking them questions and stuff like that, and doing my YouTube. That's where I get a lot of my research done, is on YouTube. So I'm hoping YouTube is accurate.
Yes,
I don't know that it is all the time. So anyway.
Good. And then number one, be passionate about making a difference. And if you're going to be an innovative company, you've got to be passionate about making a difference. And I can tell you, Curtiss-Wright is. If there's another graphic that I wanted to talk about. I found this booklet that's called "How to Introduce Innovation into Your Organization," and it's about a 20-page packet here. And if you would like a copy of this, shoot me an email. Right there is write down my email, and I will send this packet to you. It's got some great ideas, and we pulled a lot of the 10 lists from there. But it's absolutely, if you're looking to have innovation in your organization, this is a great little 20-page read that I can tell you, when I was researching this, I came upon it, and it was absolutely phenomenal for great companies if you're looking to take your companies to the next level. So very good. And we're going to end here talking about the most innovative thing in Eastern Idaho. The Idaho Innovation Center. So
I thought you were going to say the State Fair, but no.
All
right.
That's coming up in a couple weeks. So we are going to talk the Idaho Innovation Center. We have 64 rentable spaces out there to help businesses get up and start growing. And we're going to watch a quick video here that we've put together that kind of summarizes some of the things up. And we appreciate the Idaho Innovation Center being a sponsor of Talkin-Business. So watch this quick video. Next week, Echo Marshall.
Excited.
Zumba.
We like Echo a lot.
And
yeah, Zumba.
maybe some Zumba at the end
Teresa's
of it.
coming back for the Zumba.
Yeah.
You're taking my spot.
Thank you, Theresa. And thanks for tuning in today to Talkin-Business. And we will check out this quick 2-minute video on the Idaho Innovation Center. Thanks, everybody.
Idaho Innovation Center, taking your business to the next level. The Idaho Innovation Center is a business incubator located in eastern Idaho, providing resources to companies where entrepreneurs can confidently and aggressively start and grow their small business through collaboration, education, mentoring, and shared resources. Here's what some tenants of the Idaho Innovation Center have said. The classes they hold at the Idaho Innovation Center have proven to be invaluable for my business and its growth. The Idaho Innovation Center has given my business the support when needed in areas of business strategy, marketing, networking, and growth opportunities. An innovative tenant said, "The training and mentoring has helped us accomplish things we would never have done on our own. Thank you." And a technology client said, "The Idaho Innovation Center has been a perfect partner for our startup. The staff is focused on taking business to the next level, and we have." And finally, I would recommend the Idaho Innovation Center as the best resource to either start or grow your business in eastern Idaho. The Idaho Innovation Center, stimulating entrepreneurial spirit and innovation through business growth and development in eastern Idaho. At the Idaho Innovation Center, entrepreneurs can confidently grow their business through networking and educational opportunities with experienced business professionals. There is access to many free amenities, including one-on-one business mentoring and advising through the Small Business Development Center, conference room usage, and reception services. Everything we do at the Idaho Innovation Center is designed to help keep costs down and energy up for growth-oriented businesses.
Let the Idaho Innovation Center take your business to the next level.